it clicks up. I mean, no, the worst we could do is yeah, exactly. Cause yeah, radio feed is okay too. Everyone's saying this, its feeding is good. Let me see what's up. Y'all refresh your stuff and see what happens. There we go. Okay, so it's coming up as another post. That is wicked. That's crazy. Ooh, that's like spooky stuff. Dude, Mulder, what'd you do, man? I'm serious, dude. This is crazy. Wow.
I'm over here hacking the Gibson mainframe.
No way, dude. It's back up. I don't know. All I did was just refresh myself, and then now it comes up as another post. I don't know. I think something. I don't know. Maybe you came in there and hang on. No biggity. No biggity. No biggity. And we're back. There we go. See? There you go. There you go, Chris. Hang on. Let me double check the main. No, we're off the main page too. And we're having some fun too. Hang on. Let me go here and there we go. There we go. There we go. There we go, guys. Oh, we're really apologizing, you guys, on Facebook Live right now. Facebook, I don't know what happened. It threw us off. We weren't talking about anything that was bad. Ooh, you think so? Yeah, because all the other feeds, everyone's looking. Yeah, Mixer's okay. Yeah, Facebook was the only one that dropped me, gals. So, apologies.
It was me signing in.
Yeah, it literally was, dude. It literally was you. Like, no shit. As soon as you came in there was no disruption. All I just saw was that your shit stopped. Yeah.
Well, I told you last time they locked me out of my account, I had to provide birth certificate and other stuff to get back in. I'm sure they have a voice print of me, and they just like
I told you
censoring me live.
They did that. They did that to me. They said that I said some stuff because I sang along with a song, and I got literally got freaking hosed, and it literally said that you need to pay, or you need this music does not belong to you. Yeah, I was wondering what that button did exactly. I don't care. It doesn't matter. All I did was hit the refresh on the tech, and then there we go. What were we talking about? Yeah, cooking with ice and MREs. That's what we're talking about. We're going back to the subject of cooking the. Hang on, let me update the main page post. Everyone's like going, "What? Did you guys disappear?" Yeah. See, I don't know, man. YouTube, Mixer, the radio station, all the other stuff was up except for Facebook was the one that dropped us off. So I have no idea, guys and gals. I'll apologize for that. It's okay. Well, it's easy for us to get back on there and put us back on Tecate Day. There we go. So this show has been sponsored by Tecate. So,
I actually have on a side note from Cooking Boss, I got a good one to talk to you about.
Oh, what's up?
Safe Light Armor, a body armor company, has recently released a supposedly 50 caliber rated body armor, and I mean 50 BMG rated.
No shit. Oh
yeah, it's a ceramic. Inside a Kevlar.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, yeah, it'll stop a 50 BMG. And I tried to explain to people that just because it stopped it doesn't mean you're not turbo dead, because that much kinetic energy just turns your lungs into jelly.
Right, dude. It's gonna compress you. It's like the ultimate chest compression you're gonna get. You know what I mean?
50 BMG is 13,000 to 14,500 foot-pounds of force.
Right.
And I was arguing with I was just trying to correct a person who was like, well, it stopped it. And I'm like, yeah, that just gives you an open casket. You're still dead.
You're still dead. Yeah, it's still going to jack you up.
He's like, no, man, I was a Marine. I saw people take 7.62 to the SAPI plate and didn't even notice it.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah.
No, you didn't. Because I've taken 45 to a plate, and it felt like it broke my goddamn ribs. So if you take a 50 to the chest,
right, exactly,
not only
Scott, exactly.
are you flying backwards like you just got kung fu kicked by Steven Seagal, you're done.
Old Steven Seagal or fat Steven Seagal?
Well, fat Steven Seagal has more mass to put behind the kick, but I don't think he can get it up above his knee.
Right, I'm about to say. I think he's like a sack of potatoes right now. Yep, we're all back now. Hey, guys, gals, I don't know. Mixer dropped too, I guess. Yeah, everything was sane. So all I did was just refresh. That's all I did was refresh the thing and then hit start and start over again. That was it, real quick. So there we go. Real quick, we were talking about Marines. Like Marines always say that. I saw a dude get hit in the face with a Sabo round, and he just got back up and put his face back on, and he continued the mission.
Then he maxed his PT test.
And then he maxed his
pull-ups or chesty puller.
What's up, Wes?
But to be fair, he just ate a green crayon though, and you know the green one's gonna be superpowers.
Right. Oh man. Anyways, yeah, we will. We were just bullshitting around. We will talk about a cooking show later. I think that will be fun to have a cooking show, and I will definitely take that into consideration. And cook.
I can show you guys how to cook some stuff, but you're gonna end up on a watch list with me.
Yeah, I'm about to say. Well, I'm not talking about that kind of stuff. Hey, so real quick, so you thinking this? What do you think about all this COVID stuff, guy? You think it's the drama is overplayed? You listened to the show earlier. What I was just telling about how the dad jokes they're getting old about it.
You know, I don't think it's overplayed. I think it's right to be cautious if you're elderly or have a compromised immune system or have like a kid in your house. I mean, it's definitely good to be cautious with that. It does have the problem is we don't know exactly how many people are infected, so we don't have a good baseline for the mortality rate they keep giving it, because they've already said the CDC tests aren't 100% accurate. So it's like, how many people are running around asymptomatic and we don't even know it? But if you look at South Korea's numbers, they're very low because they got a handle on it. They've got testing procedures that work, and they're testing everybody, and it gives you a better cross-section of infected, not infected, and then, you can track your mortality rate from there. But if there's 50,000 people that have it, but you've only tested 5,000 people and 500 people have died, that makes it look much worse because you've only tested 5,000 people, but 50,000 people actually have it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Exactly. What I think is funny is that fucking they really, it's almost like they have they have doctors. They literally have, it's funny is that the doctors that are briefing this COVID crap are not getting believed by the people. They would rather believe some talking head at whatever Fox or whatever CNN or whatever NBC's talking about. Like they don't have, like, these are like legit white, like the guys I was telling you about earlier. I was telling the audience earlier about the Kansas State one. These are like white coated doctors. They had, MDs, and they were doctors, and they were making dad doctor jokes and stuff like that about it. And no one was like taking them seriously.
Did you hear the shit in St. Louis?
Go on.
The people tested positive. No, I'm sorry. Girl came back from a trip in Italy. She went to Chicago, stayed with friends, rode the Amtrak from Chicago to St. Louis. She felt sick, went to the hospital did a test, sent her home, told her to self-quarantine, told her family to self-quarantine until the test results come back. That same night that she went back home from the hospital and was told to self-quarantine, her dad went to a daddy-daughter dance with his other daughter at a high school. And now all the schools are shut down.
God.
And I'm like, fuck that dude, because now I'm stuck with my kids, and they're assholes, and I don't want them at home. They need to go to school.
Right. Oh, God. Yeah, exactly. Now you're going to be stuck with them little shits in the freaking house. Oh, God. Yeah, see, that's the thing. I don't know, man. Like I said, I'm getting tired of it. I'm getting tired of all the stuff. I mean, and I'm not seeing... Okay, am I a little disappointed there's no zombies walking around? A little bit, maybe, but I'm not going to sit there and if a doctor, if somebody of the medical profession tells me this is what you need to do, this is what you need to go, you go on the CDC website and it says exactly what those doctors are saying on TV, and that's it. I don't care about the stats, about them saying, I think it's a lie. You notice there's a cover-up of mortalities and all that. Like I said, unless I see zombies, then that's when I'm going to start calling bullshit. But until then, I'm just wash my hands. You know what I mean?
Well, there was a thing I just saw. You know how they came out and told us, like, we thought it was a 2-week incubation period. Now it's up to a 30-day incubation period that you could be asymptomatic. I just saw an ad asking for human guinea pigs to be infected with it to test for cures, and they're going to keep you in a medical lab quarantine for 2 weeks. And I'm like,
oh, didn't
they tell us you could be there for 30 days?
Yeah, we just saw. Yeah, we talked about that earlier. We reported that earlier with that, and it was hilarious. We reported that it was like $4,500 to be a test subject. Would you get paid $4,500 for that?
That's the same kind of math of that journalist that said Bloomberg could have gave everybody in America $1 million for what he spent on his.
Oh my God,
campaign.
I know, that was freaking righteous. Hey, did you see that now that they're going to have the debate? It's just going to be Bernie and Biden on Sunday. Are you tracking that?
Yeah, and now they're asking for Joe Biden to be able to sit down. Did you see that one?
No, I did not.
The Biden campaign asked that they could sit down and not stand because they aren't sure Joe can stand that long.
Oh my God.
But I'm willing to bet if you put a 9-year-old somewhere on the stage, you'd see Joe start running.
He's running faster than Bill Clinton and Epstein's plane. Yeah, exactly. You can imagine that, exactly that cost. Imagine any 4 below saying, "Hey, I got the COVIDs. I'm going to go ahead and self quarantine." That first sergeant would be like, "What? Would you go in there as a first sergeant though?"
Oh God, no! I ain't risking that one.
Exactly. Oh my God, it's classic, dude. It is classic. I love it. Again, let all the drama happen. Let all the stuff happen. I don't give a shit as long as everyone's okay. And there's reported death. I understand that. That's like the flu. If you do get sick, you're going to get sick, right? And if you have somebody get the flu, you're going to get sick. It's going to... Naturally, you're going to get freaking...
But the problem is everybody's freaking out about this one, but like 80% of the time they don't get their flu vaccines when they're like, seriously, get a flu vaccine. No, we're good. Oh my God, COVID, everybody's going to die.
Right. Yeah, but look what happened. Yeah, the president didn't have any viruses.
It's like, hey, besides the flu vaccine, you should really vaccinate your kids.
Right.
Oh, God, no. Jim Carrey told me that'll give them autism.
What's that? Hang on. Someone said, have you heard of a rumor about Trump having the virus? And people are saying that? Why people are saying that? Yeah, because he's been shaking hands. Okay, look, real quick. God dang it. I knew it was going to get dragged back into this COVID crap with the Walking Dead and shit, the infected. Anyways.
I really just want to shoot someone in the face.
No, I just think it's okay. So
try to loot my house.
Oh, okay. So yeah, exactly. That's all I'm doing. I'm just really disappointed right now that the zombie apocalypse is happening. This is what I thought it was. I thought this was going to be the precursor to the Boog, but that's not happening. Well, that's another story in itself. But here's the thing: CPAC, which is like one of the conservative, conventions for all the Republicans to go to. One person showed up. And it's got like 4,000 or 5,000 people in attendance. Right? These are all the big conservative people you see all over the Twitter spheres. And normally what they say, They go like, oh, well, you need to do this, you need to do that, and wash your hands, and blah, blah, blah. It's not a big deal. Well, it turns out one person showed up and shook hands with some of the guests and everything from CPAC. Not only that, but also got near the president and was hanging around the people that shook hands with the president.
He shook hands with Pence, I thought.
And Pence, too, yeah.
But it's cool because Lightning Pence, he just burned out the virus with his anti-gay electricity.
Oh, my God, dude. Let me start on that shit. That shit's fucking... don't get me started. Look,
hey, man, he's real-life race banning. You can't mess with him.
Yeah, dude, it just gets to the point where... everyone's causing the panic. And it's funny is that people are trivializing this shit. People are trivializing this shit, and then they're not trivializing it. It's almost like they're telling you guys, relax, it's cool, don't worry about it. And then when it comes to the president, when it comes to Pence, when it comes to anybody in the cabinet, when it comes to other individuals, then all of a sudden, watch out! Holy shit, it's panic. You don't realize you're causing a danger. And I'm thinking. Meanwhile, my kid's wiping his nose on my freaking arm. Is that cool to say that? Is that going to quarantine WTF Nation Radio?
I remember when my kid sneezed into my mouth.
Oh my God, yeah. Oh my God. You got a little kid that like to pick their nose or something like that. And like, here, Dad, you try. You're like, ah. That's the life of being a dad ass. Just that's what happens.
That would be a good show as a dad show for all these 18 to 20-year-old guys that end up knocking up the first stripper that spreads their legs for them, and they have no clue how to be a dad.
Well, that's funny that you mentioned that. See, some of the stuff we're talking about, yeah, we're talking about, how we used to have the Manly Minute when Radar would co-host with me on Mondays. We're thinking about having like a Manly Minute type of event. I'm going to kind of see how that's going to roll out. But this will probably be something that would be a joint effort. And I think it would be pretty cool. But yeah, exactly, dude. And there's nothing. That's a great dude. Are you reading my DM? I forgot you're on watch list. You probably are looking at my DMs. There's going to be a show coming up for Sergeant's Time that's going to be discussing financial planning and stuff like that. We're going to get some people that are experts, like individuals who've like gone through some stuff and have able to do that. We're going to have some real quick to have. Oh crap. Okay, well here we go. Just got an announcement from Fort Jackson. So Fort Jackson leaders are continuing to monitor events with COVID-19, plan to take all prudent measures necessary to ensure the safety of our service members, civilian employees, and their families. With that objective, I'm implementing a number of modifications to normal operations in an effort to protect our community. First, family day activities are canceled going forward. Graduating soldiers will be afforded cadre supervised visits to the AAFES facilities and make purchases in preparation to their travel to AIT instead of having a pass to spend with visiting family members. Next graduation day ceremonies will occur only on Hilton Field, weather permitting, with all BCT graduates returning by government transportation to the battalions area to prepare for immediate onward movement to AIT. 134 Infantry Battalion graduates this week have been approved for POV travel to AIT with family members will be further reviewed by the command to determine that if this course remains an option. No POV travel with family members will be allowed after this week's graduation. 134 Infantry Battalion, 23 Infantry Battalion, 213 will be graduating next week. Will only travel by government issued ticket. No further travel will be authorized after 12 March 2020. We are America's Army and bond with the public trust. Oh God, I'm fucking up this line right here. We are America's Army and our bond with the public is trust. While these changes disrupt the plans many people have made, I believe that the family and friends of our graduating soldiers trust that we may not making these decisions lightly and only implement these precautions outlined as prudent decisions designed to protect our Army team from further preventing opportunities to introduce the spread of COVID-19. The Army is inherently risky by nature. However, safety is an integral part of all aspects of daily operations. We can never fully mitigate every hazard, but we have minimized hazards to the maximum extent possible. We must be vigilant and adjust normal operating procedures to protect ourselves and loved ones from this illness. It takes a team effort for this to be effective and will take understanding and empathy by all. There is currently 0 confirmed cases of COVID-19 on our installation now. Last week, South Carolina had 0 confirmed cases as well. Since Friday, COVID-19 has been confirmed in South Carolina and communities close to Fort Jackson. We will remain keenly attentive to our public health official guidance and statistics published by the Centers for Disease Control as we evaluate and assess the risks to our force and the mission of Fort Jackson. Sincerely, Brigadier General Milford H. Beagle. So there we go. There we go.
So is this we're going to do a real world exercise and just put the whole base in mop gear?
Well, the thing is that I've we were getting these last things, and anything from General Beagle, Fort Jackson, and they've been on the show, General Beagle and Sergeant Major Jeremiah Gann. They've been here on WTF Nation Radio to talk about their stuff. So it's kind of like one of those things to kind of like blast that info out. It's I think it's important to kind of get that out there. What was the case? He said do the dad show for everyone. Stationed in Italy to prevent a baby boom right now, please. I'm losing my drinking buddies to pregnancies. Yeah. So, that's the latest and greatest from General Beagle. What's up, Holly? It's pretty crazy. And also that stuff that's happening in Memphis. There's like supposedly an event. Yeah, Tina, we're gonna have to wear PT belts again because of this. It's crazy.
If that's why there's no fucking COVID in Korea, they're still wearing PT belts over there.
I think they had a couple people there. They had that family member and that soldier and now that soldier's wife.
But they're at a less than 1% mortality rate because PT belts. That's why.
Yeah. That's a good point. Shipwreck, but then again, it's better safe than sorry. The way I see it, when it comes to something like that, a commander wants to, have his, when they want to have some due diligence out there to make sure that, come on, think about it. If your kid was going through basic training and they were just being wanton willy-nilly about it, then that would be one outrage. But instead, applying these measures right here, I think is pretty good. They've been pretty open, and I don't know. I think the Army's been pretty open about it. They've been kind of like, we'll just put this information out. You know what I mean? They haven't been like, whatever. Even though there was, supposedly there was some sort of memo that went out, not to contradict, not a memo, but an email or phone call. I got to go back. I don't want to get the source screwed up. I don't want to get it all messed up. But there was supposedly some talk from the department, from the SecDef, to tell everybody, hey, make sure you fucking you kind of clear decisions or measures before you got to get with the president. You got to clear it first. Now, I don't think that's true. I don't know if it is, because from what I'm seeing right now, I'm seeing commanders doing what commanders are supposed to be doing. That's just me.
Yeah, you're supposed to delegate leadership so you don't have to micromanage everything.
Right. And everyone's like, that's what we're going back to that whole discussion of the micromanaging and all that. But again, we'll see what happens. But yeah, appreciate the message there, sir. Okay, so that was that one for that one. Let me see. Let me double check if there's any other information that I got that anyone's going to give me. Military installations aside from it was the Navy and now Fort Jackson.
I got a military-related fun fact I just found out.
What's up?
You can buy an M1919 machine gun parts kit, and you can build a functional M1919 machine gun for about $2,000.
Like, what is it? But is it semi-auto or is it full auto?
Yes.
Okay, there you go.
The difference between semi and full is...
Are you talking about full semi?
3/16.
Are we?
I'm fully semi-automatic right now.
Yeah, fully semi-automatic. Yeah, you took
It's a fully semi-automatic Clipazine ghost gun.
It's a Clipazine. Yeah, it's a Clipazine chain fed. Oh man.
Oh, I mean, the other military-related one was the AR-15. Technically, doesn't meet any of the definitions of a firearm by the ATF, and they've been interpreting rules very, very, very. They've been breaking the law to interpret the rule the way they want to regulate the ATF, and they've straight up said if they interpreted it the way the law is written, they would not be able to regulate AR-15 type rifles and a lot of other modern guns.
Yeah, see, that's the whole thing that gets me, kind of mixed up about that shit. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a lot of the stuff that they don't, like, for instance, now you can now I shouldn't say this because what I don't want to do is I don't want to have anything that's thrown over air to be kind of like giving them ideas. You know what I mean? So I'll just leave it at that. I mean, you can buy quote unquote pistols. They're sold as pistols, but they would normally require you to have a fucking tax stamp or a fucking permit to get. As long as they're not now, they're show bearer rifles. They're considered pistols.
Oh my God! Yes, I need to ask the government. I need to ask the Crown for permission to own something that you arbitrarily decided I can't own because it has this piece of plastic instead of this piece of plastic,
right?
Which doesn't change the functionality of it at all.
Right. Okay. Oh, we got an announcement from Fort Benning. What's going on in Fort Benning? Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Let me see what's going on in Fort Benning. Okay. Here we go. Let's see what. Let me see what's going on with Fort Benning. By now, almost all of Fort Benning community is aware of coronavirus disease, 2019, COVID-19, and the issues involved with such a new and concerning illness. As the commander of Fort Benning, I assure you that I am aware and share your concern. I take this very seriously. I want to assure you that the entirety of this command is involved in planning and for any of the contingencies should they arise. This planning ranges from screening and treatments to safe and secure lodgment. Should it be necessary, our hospital is nested with the Center of Disease Control and Prevention as well. We intend to be fully transparent. At this time, there are no known cases of the virus reported at Fort Benning. Should a case come to our attention, and the entire team will take immediate measures to address, and I will do everything within my power to preserve the health of the Fort Benning community and to keep each of you fully informed about actions we are taking. We will share all actions within the city of Columbus and surrounding areas. It is important that we have a general understanding of how this new illness, COVID-19, is transmitted and what precautions you can take in preventing contracting it. The illness is commonly spread through infected person to others through the air by coughing and sneezing, close personal contact, touching an object or surface with the virus on it, and then touching your mouth, eyes, or nose. It is important to take certain precautions to protect yourself and others to reduce your risk of infection transmitting COVID-19 to others. A simple measure drilled by our parents and teachers: help hand washing with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth with unwashed hands. If you are sick or not feeling well, stay at home from work and seek medical attention. This is important, especially now that we are aware of the new strain of the coronavirus. If you think you have a mild or moderate upper respiratory infection or symptoms of runny nose, headache, cough, sore throat, fever, that's what I had last week, and generally you're not feeling well, it may be simply a common cold. With some medical treatment, rest, and hydration, these symptoms may only last a short amount of time. We ask that you call the hospital first before visiting to receive instructions. We must take all measures to limit the spread of COVID-19 in our treatment facilities. It is very important to understand that screening criteria for, I said screaming criteria. Screening criteria, not screaming criteria. There we go, sacrificing Germans again. Yeah, throw me down the volcano. COVID-19 infection, to determine if you have it or not. First, do you have a fever, cough, shortness of breath, or any of the previous mentioned symptoms? Second, have you been in close contact with a person known to have had or have been exposed to COVID-19? Have you traveled to China, Iran, South Korea, Italy, Japan in the past 2 weeks? If you answer yes to both the screening criteria questions, please contact your medical provider or emergency room and let them know that you meet screening criteria for COVID-19. You may also contact the 100 oh my God, I can't believe they're putting the line here, 1-800-TRICARE Nurse Advice line at 1-800-874-2273, menu option 1 for additional assistance. The screening criteria is critical for 3 reasons: to identify the possible case of COVID-19 and get a proper medical attention, prevent use of vital medical resources for an illness besides COVID-19, and limit exposure to others. We anticipate the number of impacted countries and areas within countries, I think he meant counties, within the United States to increase and provide updates accordingly. We're using COVID-19 screening criteria for all new personnel arriving here for training. We're limiting temporary travel to locations of concern and also monitoring people who may be moving here for a follow-on assignment from the same areas concerned, both overseas and stateside. Furthermore, we're establishing means for the entire Fort Benning community, i.e. workforce, residents, and visitors, to access latest information and submit questions and concerns. Our Fort Benning Facebook and other venues will be used extensively. I'm asking everyone to review the Center for Disease Control and Prevention measures online, practice good hygiene, and do not come to work and spread your illness to others if you're sick. By all means, contact your primary care provider. Health protection is our top priority. As a team, let's stay calm and work through this at Fort Benning and our surrounding communities. Thank you, General Brito, Commanding General. Yeah, there you go. Okay, thank you, Fort Benning. There you go. See, I got the, man, I got all these PAOs hitting me up. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. What else? What was the, yeah, it takes the Casey. What else? What was that? Was that it? Are we done? Are we done with the,
did we have any more announcements?
No, I'm just looking at all my PAO chats and all this other stuff because I'm getting a bunch of them. I'm just looking at it. I don't see anything else. Okay, well, I guess it's time for house cleaning, man. And it's already that time, dude. We're like 10 minutes out.
Man, that time flies when you're having fun.
Right, dude. So,
can I say something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
One, I want to throw a shout out to my boy Rhett E. Boogie. Everybody write him in for presidential candidate. And to Lyman Bishop, running for governor of Montana. He's running to basically bring the state back in line with what the Constitution was intended versus where laws are at now.
Okay. Cool. Roger that. Okay.
You know what I'm about.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Wait, why you gotta spoil it, man? Why you just can't wait?
I didn't spoil anything.
I'm just breaking balls.
We got some bigger news coming.
Yeah, we got some. Yeah, exactly. No, yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. No, you're right. No, you're right, Chris. PAO send me these messages. Hey, could you read this out? I'm more than happy to read it out. So that was Fort Benning, and then I read Fort Jackson's. This is pretty cool. No, this is the way it's supposed to be. Drinking 19 Coronas may give you immunity to nah. No way, dude. Tecate, man. That's how you maintain your you maintain some resilience to it.
What about that one where the doctor was saying don't touch your face and then literally touches her face during the press conference?
Right, exactly. Oh my God. Exactly. Or she was like licking her fingers or something like that.
And that was like a Fire Marshal Bill moment.
Yeah.
Like, don't stick your finger in the light socket, kids.
Exactly. Let me show you something. Okay, real quick, we're gonna do some house cleaning right quick. So you guys know that we got another show coming up tomorrow. It's the Pop Culture Warrior with CQ, and then we also have Sergeant's Time coming up on Thursday. We also have Kicking It with Cause and with Cause and Out, and then Monday back again with me and Flash. You know what? I didn't really notice. I'm really starting to notice that every time Flash is gone, Jose is like starting to rumble around. I'm gonna have to confront him, dude. I'm gonna have to freaking confront Flash. This is getting to be just usually at the right time, at the right moments. Information's coming out, and all of a sudden, Jose's signal is about ready to pop out. This is kind of like I'm concerned. I think we got tomorrow.
You got a Clark Kent Superman situation.
Yeah, I think I do. I think we do have one going on.
Here, let's do the Kevin Bacon game, because we call him Flash.
Yeah.
And we call him Jose. And Jose is a Mexican name, and Speedy Gonzalez was Mexican. Dude, we just made the connection.
We just made connections. Flash, exactly. Maybe maybe that's it. So, anyways, he normally joins me on here, but of course, you know, if he can't, we usually have one of the other co-hosts join us or something like that, or I'll do my show solo. Not a big deal. All right, so about to say exactly that. See exactly to say where Jose's at. So our next guest. We have 2 guests coming up. We have one on the 23rd, and we have one scheduled penciled in. Once we have it penciled in and Scott up on the 16th, which is like next week. So it's the 16th to the 23rd. We have our March guests, and then of course we have other guests in April, May, June. We're all trying to lock them in. But these two guests right here, I think are coming. Well, I wish I could say it, but it's not locked in. The one on the 16th, don't worry, on Sergeant's Time by then we'll probably have it locked in, or probably before then, and we'll be able to freaking throw some words out on that one. But the one on 23 March, Army veteran Riley Dosh is going to come on. And she is a data science contractor living in D.C. She graduated from West Point in 2017 with a degree in mathematics while at West Point, and after the Obama administration released a policy allowing open transgender service, she came out as transgender. However, she was subsequently denied a commission by the Trump administration, who has since banned transgender service members from openly serving. Prior to the ban, she was the last person to be discharged for being transgender. So, like we said before, this guest is going to come on and talk about exactly what's going on with her case, specifically what happened, exactly what happened with the law, because a lot of us don't know. Thank you, Jose, for helping me out with this one. A lot of us don't know. We don't know some of the things that what the repeal has and all that, and we've said this before. It doesn't matter what you are. If you raise your right hand and serve in the freaking U.S. military and you're willing to lay down your life, it doesn't matter what you are or whatever. You put the uniform on and there you go, rock and roll. So there's going to be some questions that I'm going to be asking, and of course, just like we have with everybody else who comes on, if anybody starts trolling our guests, that's been our policy. You troll our guests, it doesn't matter who they are. This is going to be a test for you guys too. Because all of our guests that have come on have been either extremely controversial, or some of you may not agree with them, which, you know, I could give two shits. They could come on here if you don't agree with them or not. They want to come on here and talk about what their issues are or what's been going on. That's exactly the thing, was to educate and inform us. And also, I'm curious about this stuff because I thought the issue was done. If that makes any sense. I thought the issue was there was not a repeal, or there was an appeal, or something like that. But anyways. Because with Don't Ask, Don't Tell and all this other shit happens. So we're going to get somebody who's been through that stuff. Then I'm really curious to see, you know, how that happened and what exactly has happened now. I've been already in conversation with her, and I guarantee it, that's been some revealing information that I'm like, what the fuck? It's pissed me off. So, there you go. You got anything to say, Mulder?
I got lots to say. I got all these things to say. But I'll just stick with, you know, your individual liberty is your own. You should always live free with no masters.
Right. Exactly.
And if you guys are bored and you're shopping for anything cool, check out uprisearmory.com. They're a veteran-owned business.
Dude, we'll wait till you get them on there. We'll talk about that. We got some stuff we need to talk about, man. But anyways,
no, this isn't about that thing. That's just a company that's a veteran-owned business.
Yeah, well, you can have them join us and talk about who they are and stuff like that. But again, I just want everybody to know that's going to happen right now. It's going to be on the 23rd of March. Army veteran Riley Dosh, and she's going to come on and shoot the shit with us. But yeah, it's you know, some of the stuff, you know, we've had other individuals and other vets come on here to talk about what they got. You know, we had Tim Clun come on here, and we had Eric Shaw coming on here. We had the guys that were, the guy that did the tactical freaking, what was that? The tactical mugs, the artillery shell mugs. We've had them coming on. So shoot the shit about it later, man. We'll do it after the show. We'll see. Just tell me who it is, and we'll see what's up. I'm always open to helping out veterans and their stuff and showing off their wares, as long as we get some free swag.
I mean, he's a nasty girl though, so really consider it.
That's okay. No big deal. Anyways, thank you all for joining us. Like I said, the next guest to come on, hopefully we on the 16th is going to be. I can't wait. It's going to be fun. It is going to be fun. At any rate, so thank you all for joining us. Hey, thanks, Mulder, for calling in the last minute. Don't get the COVIDs. And then...
no, I've got the Bud Lights.
All right, yo.
I believe, don't treat me like an object. I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul. I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object. I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul. I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object. I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul. I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object. I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul. I'll always be a human.
intergalactic throne. He surveyed the universe and said, let's make all of this our own. He commissioned a group of soldiers to take upon their shoulders a daunting task of relentless fear, ultimate conquest of the last frontier. Now here we are enlisted for the glory of our nation. To say that we're the best would be an under-exaggeration. Prepared for combat with an alien race, to kick their asses right in the face. Space Force, Space Force, we'll saddle up our intergalactic horse and we'll ride into the sun, yes, into the sun, where we'll take the day by planting a flag right there at its source. Space Force. They say that they've discovered life up there on Mars, so let's blow it all to hell and then claim it for ours. We'll paint the moon red, white, and blue for no other reason than we wanted to. Oh, Jupiter, imagine what you could become. A stupid, pointless planet turned into a giant gun. And Russia, so sorry, have to burst your bubble. Be a good sport now, sit back, relax, and watch us through the hubble as we celebrate the greatness of the United Planet America. Space Force, Space Force, we'll saddle up our intergalactic horse and we'll ride into the sun, yes, into the sun, where we'll take the day by planting a flag right there at its source. Space Force. Now we'll go to infinity infinity and beyond, beyond. You'll hear all manly voices singing Space Force strong. Though critics say sound doesn't travel in space, to which we reply sound will do as we say. Oh, Captain Kirk, your achievements, though notable and fine, as far as we're concerned, this is Deep Space Mine. And big fans, but Lord Vader, step away from the lightsaber. There can only be one, of course. Space Force. Ra-da-da-da-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-dum-dum-dum-dum, ra-da-da-da-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da-da-da-da-da-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum. Space Force, Space Force. We'll saddle up our intergalactic horse and we'll ride into the sun, yes, into the sun, where we'll take the day by planting a flag right there at its source. Space Force. Space
Good evening, boys and girls. This is Tim Kennedy. I'm a Special Forces sniper, a Ranger qualified Green Beret, a UFC fighter. Please listen to us and the shenanigans that we're going to say. We will insult you. There will be racial slurs. We will be sexist. We will offend you. But there will be magic, and a unicorn will be raped. So
This is your chance to empower our combat veterans to ride on to better days.